contribution specifically to the National Achievement Center. He works at Cherry Logistics along with Adam Carl, who volunteers in Fox Valley. They're both volunteering their time here on the weekend for this presentation. You can see Adam's background is pretty impressive, so don't mess with him. Despite their different backgrounds, they have some great ideas, and they're going to do some role-playing on relationship building and fundraising. We couldn't be happier to have them, so here is Frank and Adam.
Good late morning, Gigi's Playhouse.
Good morning.
Are we mic'd up?
No? No? There we go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I have to tell you, it's a great honor to be here today in the presence of all of you champions of Gigi's Playhouse. It's very emotional for me. I met Paul Gianni in the workplace at Cherry Logistics. We had a lot in common. We're both Italian. We've had many conversations about who makes a better meatball. And we also worked on the trading floor. Yes, good traders. We never really knew each other on the trading floor, but there's a certain bond that you have that most people don't understand about, being in that battle zone. Paul quickly taught me about what his true passion was, Gigi's Playhouse. And it's amazing to me that at such a young age, in such a short time, we've built this amazing empire and still growing. In life, to me, the most important thing for me at my age now is to build a legacy. What am I going to leave behind? And what you people are doing right now is you're building your own legacy. It's super impressive. There's really nothing more important. This is the highest form of living what we're doing here. We have some challenges at Gigi's Playhouse, and Adam's going to talk about some of those challenges.
Frank introduced himself to you this morning, and he let you know who he was. And I'm going to take a few moments to tell you who I am and what my background is. Because I worked with Frank, I worked with Paul at Cherry Logistics. And when I first started at Cherry Logistics, that space, in that work environment, there's a thank you letter. And it's framed on the wall. And that thank you letter is thanking Cherry Logistics for a sizable donation that was made to Gigi's Playhouse. Now that donation sort of set the stage for my introduction to Gigi's Playhouse. How I met Paul Gianni. Because Paul Gianni, he's very good at what he does. After all, look at this room. There's so many people in this room. And in order to build an international nonprofit organization, you have to be good at asking. You have to be good at raising funds. So I knew that he was good. And all my interactions with him, my conversations, they were all prefaced with me reaching back and covering my wall. Because I was ready. I was braced to say no. And I had my guard up. Now, Paul Gianni, I knew what his passion was immediately because he shared it. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, is our discussion is going to show you how uncomfortable some of those interactions can be. How do you get to the point where you can ask and really get members of your community to uncover their walls?
In the book of Sales, Sales 101, it tells you to start with your inner sphere of influence, which would be your friends and family and your coworkers. And it's pretty easy to talk to those people, right, because you know them. But there's a more important sphere in fundraising, and that's the sphere of businesses and retailers. They have a tremendous financial resource. Well, what I want you to think about today is not just any businesses, but the businesses that you all frequent yourself. Think about the restaurants that you go to, the bank that you go to, the coffee shop that you go to. If you start there, you're really not asking a retailer or a business owner to give you something for nothing. You're already giving them their business. I was a former restaurant owner, and I was solicited many times by charitable organizations and people who were having dinner at my restaurant. And it's not that hard to say yes when you see these people coming to your businesses frequently. So we're going to do a little role play here. And imagine being in a grocery store that you do most of your shopping at. You're right at the tail end of your shopping and your cart's full. And I've done this before. I'm going to wheel my cart over to the customer service desk and talk to the store manager, Adam.
You really need to stretch your imagination here. We're in a world where I'm the manager. Okay.
Hi, are you the manager?
I am.
Hi, my name is Frank Lardino. How are you?
Good to meet you, sir.
Hey, I just wanted to come by and say
that psychological sandwich that's layered with rejection on your end, right? Because can everybody relate with that fear of rejection? No matter how many times you get rejected, you never really get used to it. And then you've got your prospect on the other end, feeling really guilty preparing for that no. Let's real frank.
Gigi's Playhouse is an organization that empowers individuals and families touched with Down syndrome. We have a facility that's in the neighborhood, and we're really struggling right now. And I was wondering, would you make a donation, anything as small as a case of water, for our next fundraiser, which will be in about 3 weeks?
I don't know if I got the space in my inventory for these types of things. We're going to freeze frame real quick again. I'm uncomfortable asking people that owe me money for money, let alone asking money for free. So this can be very challenging. It can be very difficult.
Adam, I totally understand. We are having a fundraiser in about 3 weeks. If you did decide to donate anything, we would give you appropriate recognition. We'll have your name on the banners, and we have these sponsor boards that are all throughout the facility. You'll get some good recognition. A lot of the families that will be there also shop at the store. It's something that maybe you want to think about.
Well, I'll take your information. I'll think about it. And then maybe not. I'm not sure. Things are tight. Things are really tight around here.
Sure, I totally understand. I appreciate your time, and once again, brother, you got a great story.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. So, this is a role play that can be real and uncomfortable. We intentionally did a role play where we got pushback from the manager. And this is a real thing. But what I did do is I set the stage to make a phone call. And what I would do is I would wait about a week, and I would call up the store. You have to be conscious of when the ebbs and flows of business are in a grocery store. I'm going to call up the grocery store around 9 or 10 o'clock on Wednesday. And this is how we're going to role play out this call.
Ring, ring. That's the phone. Hello.
Hey, Adam, it's Frank Lardino here. Remember me? I introduced myself last week, left you the brochure about Gigi's Playhouse.
Yeah, I do remember you.
Hey, I was wondering, did you have a chance to think about possibly making a donation for our next fundraiser?
You know, I've thought about it. It depends on really what you got going on. What have you got in the mix over there at Gigi's Playhouse?
Well, we expect anywhere from 300 to 500 people. If you can donate any type of food items like sandwiches or beverages, anything would help. Like I said, we'll give you some really good recognition. It'll be good for your business.
So this may be a marketing type campaign for me. I mean, am I going to get some recognition? You can.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And we'll work with you on, what we would like to have displayed out there.
I'll have to touch base with my marketing team. Maybe I can write this off as an expense. We'll have to see. What exactly did you think that you were going to need from me?
As I said, any kind of food items, if you can make some deli trays for us, some beverages, anything along those lines would help.
As it turns out, we actually have some surplus deli items, so we may be able to firm things up with that. Just follow up with me here in a couple of days.
Sounds good. And if I don't hear from you in a couple of days, Adam, I will give you a call just to see where we are.
Okay, so let's summarize what's just happened over the phone. But before we do that, what really happened at the beginning was the personal interaction between me and Frank, and me as the manager, I mentioned that in the grocery store. And there was a lot of pushback here. But what happened is he planted a seed. And the most important piece in Gigi's Playhouse, from where I sit, what I've been told, is that awareness factor. Because you want to increase awareness, you want to be able to get the name out there. Not just Gigi's Playhouse, but the mission. You want to get it out there in a way that drives passion, in a way that takes that kindred spirit and it matches it from one person in a profitable organization to align with nonprofit organizations in order to be successful.
We keep using the same word here, passion. The reason why Nancy Johnny is an amazing fundraiser is not because she's read every book on sales and marketing. She's extremely passionate, and she's mastered the art of throwing every bit of her passion out at you. It's so infectious. And everybody in this room, you're here because you have the same passion. All you have to do is keep practicing on how to push that passion into the people that you're talking to. That's the key to this whole piece, raising money and getting people to join up. You have to let that passion flow. Don't bottle it up. Paul wanted me to share a story with you, and we're going to talk about the other key word, and that's ask. Ask is the most difficult thing in fundraising. It was uncomfortable for me to do it in a role play there, let alone in real life. I was at the Kraft Foods headquarters in Northfield. The building is 750,000 square feet. It is colossal. And I was taking a tour with the facility manager, and she was showing me all the remodeling that they have done there. And because Gigi's has always had that program running in my head, I said to this facility manager, well, what did you do with all the furniture and cubicles and office chairs and lighting? She said, well, we have all that warehouse. I said, well, I'm part of an organization called Gigi's Playhouse, and I gave her a little pitch on Gigi's Playhouse. And I said, would you be interested in donating some of that furniture? To make a long story short, within 1 week's time, we had a semi-tractor trailer pulled into a warehouse. I think it was about $60,000 or $70,000 in office furniture, which we used for the new Hoffman Estates facility. And it was a daunting task because we had unloaded this truck, which was packed by engineers. I don't know how they got so much stuff in there. And we had it all over the warehouse. And we were looking at it like, how are we going to put this back together? Well, the woman in Kraft Foods, Cheryl Callahan, she donated the engineers to come and put it all together for us. She was at the grand opening, and I'll tell you, she was really like touched. So all you have to do is ask, and don't leave any stone unturned. You never know where you're going to be. Always have that Gigi's program running. You know, we just never know what's going to be done.
Frank mentioned the key word there, and that's the word ask. That ask can be terrifying. It can be really terrifying. And I talked about the layers of projection that are associated with that. And it's the sandwich that's just terrifying because you've got the guilt on the front end with the prospect and the rejection on the back end. And if I get one more rejection, I'm calling somebody else, I'm sending somebody else in there. But there's one thing that I forgot to do. I was so busy covering my ball that I forgot to cover my heart. I forgot to cover my heart. And Paul Gianni, he never asked. He never got a yes or a no from me because he never asked and said, I came to him. And I said, what can I do for Gigi's Playhouse? And that's the challenge that I want to leave you with. That challenge of how do you get someone to come to you and ask. So before you go out and you ask people, open up your wallets. Because fortunately for Paul Gianni, if he would have asked, maybe some change, some lint would have hit the floor, maxed out the credit card, but he never did. He never did ask. I came to him, and I donated my time. And that's the challenge I want to leave with you. The challenge of open up your heart before you ask anyone open their wallets.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give all of ourselves a round of applause. Thank you for letting us